you guys have seen the headline, Mnangagwa hits back at Chiwenga. I can tell you, Ziambi, Jennifer Muswere, it's unbelievable. You guys come through, we need to chat. Also, Chamisa's reaction to the entire fights within the camp of ZANU-PF. It's interesting days ahead. I must also let you know that it is very clear that ZANU-PF is heavily divided, but I must also say that there is no more ZANU-PF. Okay, we want to make that very clear. There is no ZANU-PF party. It's simply a mask just to protect criminals who really have been causing chaos in the country. So we need to chat on that one here. And later on, we're going to also look at allegations that are surfacing today. Uhood and Oxulia Mnangagwa. It's interesting, interesting days ahead. But I also want to say that, guys, if it's your first time to come across the channel, please subscribe and make sure that you ring the bell so that every time I'm live or drop a video, you will be robbed right here. But I want to say shout out to my regulars. I can see a number of people who are tuning in. I want to say shout out to guys. Thank you so much for coming through. We need to have a chat. This is an important conversation. We are heading towards the most crucial time of our life. Okay. We are very close to freedom. We are about to do away with every criminal in the country. And it's very important for Zimbabwe to engage. Otherwise, what is the point? We cannot afford to have 2017 back in our country. We need to do right by ourselves. All right, like I mentioned earlier on, it's clear that there is no more ZANU-PF. It's very clear. So I'll give you a background. Prior to 2017, there were two factions. That was Lancaster and G14. Fast forward, as soon as Mnangagwa took the reins, we saw a lot of changes happened. It seems like there was a change. Okay, I mean, just a lot of changes in terms of him saying that he was going to change Zimbabwe, and he had these guys that he said they were his ministers. But fast forward, as we get in, no, there was no change in the country at all. The entire ZANU-PF were hijacked by a criminal cartel. So you can, most of the people within the ZANU-PF can see how much they're suffering, even though the country is rich in food, but it's the majority, especially within the camps of the criminals, are living large, are having everything that they want. This is one of the reasons why Zimbabwe is frothing and pushing on the fact that the constitution has to be changed to accommodate criminals. I can't begin to fathom that. So the constitution must be changed because of few people. Okay, when we look at what happened within the parliament since 2023, an individual from the street robbed in by criminals and then be given the name of a party and dissolved the opposition. And then they expect the Zimbabweans, the entire country, to now sit back and watch while they tamper with the constitution. It's very sad to watch. But however, Zimbabwe is saying, no, we are going to, most people in the country are saying Mnangagwa should go ahead with, again, amending the constitution. We all know that there's no more people, or there's not a lot of people. It's simply a lie. Like they've always been saying, they've always been selling a lie via their propaganda machines, which include newspapers like Herald. There's also Daily News. These are just machineries for those that may use money to get whatever they want. Again, it all boils down to the fact that they're simply criminals. We don't want to say the truth, but that is a fact. Now, I want to read what Dr. Walter Muzembe said. I want to say to America, please don't try, don't start this, okay? Because Americans, the Republicans are also want to amend the American Constitution. But here's the thing, they have a free and fair election. How they want to amend it is just you need to allow a president to run again. Remember, their presidents were having 2 terms. Now they're saying, no, let's change to accommodate a candidate to at least go for 3 terms. These are their own rules there. But I see that ZANU-PF is trying to push that agenda today, but it's a different ball game compared to what we have currently in the country. But let me read what Dr. Walter Muzembe said this morning. Now, addressing the issue of the constitution, because like I said, ZANU-PF are trying to say, you see, America wants to change the constitution, so we can also do the same. But I want to read what Dr. Walter Muzembe said. He said 2030 or 2033 or 2035, because now we've got all 20-something. It started as 2030. It moved not to 2033. We also had people say 2035. Like I mentioned, there's money that is being used to just push stupid agendas. But let me read, 2035 is now being compared to the intention by a Republican congressman to have real Donald Trump and POTUS run for a 3rd term by amending the 22nd Amendment of their Constitution. Reading deeper into the American Constitution, and if we sustain this comparison and argument for Emmerson Mnangagwa, he is actually seeking a 4th term after finishing the remainder of Mugabe's up 10th term, not as acting president, but president. Secondly, what is being sought by Energy Mutodi, which is our local minister Mutodi, is a wholesale extension of an administration, president, senators, MPs, everyone, everything, without renewal mandate in 2028. And the MPs are part of this constitutional coup because it doesn't take them back to the people to do that. This is not what Republican Ojos is seeking in the amendment of the 22nd Amendment. He is seeking that Trump run again for the third time and be contested. Our guys don't want to be contested at all until 2030, 2033, or 2035. Depending on who you are listening to, they're all pushing for an uncontested extension. At the core of Zimbabwe's election politics, though, is a failure to deliver credible, free, and fair elections. If the system worked to the satisfaction of the people, the phrase disputed elections would not arise, or would not be the issue in terms of the term limits, as long as those who aspire for office subjected themselves to credible processes and won freely and fairly. So if our nation was supposed to focus on ending its history of disputed elections, the now agenda for MPs would be electoral reforms as opposing to seeking term extensions. So just to rebut on what Charamba is pushing and Ziyambi is, America is not seeking to afford people extension without going through a free, fair, and credible election. So that does not cut at all. Okay, so going back to the introduction that I gave you, there is no more ZANU-PF. Let's make this very clear. So what I am seeing now is to see ZANU-PF trying to resuscitate the party. Remember, the party was hijacked by criminals. So right now, as we speak, the party is under criminal cartel. This is why there's a lot of money that is being exchanged of hands. You know, when criminals are operating, they always use money. Okay, because they know that in Zimbabwe, they've impoverished the masses. So the greatest weapon to gain their attention is money. Given cars, free cars. You ask you questions, there's no track record, but cars are being given to individuals. No one can explain. But like I mentioned to you, you must not forget that Xavier Kasukure wanted to come back prior to 2023 election. You should have asked yourself why. Because they knew that the party is gone. You also remember when Sekra Mai said Pasinembava during the rally. Ask yourself why. You have seen that most of the times they only include the masses when it's time for campaign. They do not care whether those people eat or drink. In fact, they just use them at that time and then they drop them. This is why I genuinely say to Mnangagwa's kids, these boys, and said, guys, you have proved beyond reasonable doubt that you're actually not smart. Yeah, I don't want to use words that are deep, but I want to address you. Because if you were smart, you are not going to be playing the dirty games that you're playing. I do not think Mnangagwa is playing the dirty games. I think he's just at the front. But truth remains, the sons are completely in control. See how they've taken over institutions. People are saying in finance, the son is the de facto actual minister of finance. We have seen even in security, one of the son is the de facto minister of security. We see the other one in the military, although we know that he could not have power over the military because they know that it's difficult to do so. So he also, allegations are, he created his own parallel structures in the military. I don't know how he did it, but I'm just saying these are allegations. We can also see, actually, because I genuinely believe what's coming up right now, what we are seeing here is that Chiwenga is going to be using the military against Mnangagwa. And it's very clear. There's no any other way around. Because I actually heard some of the allegations that the military were telling Geza last time what to say when he was having a meeting. I'm just telling you what I heard. I'm not saying I don't have evidence at all. Okay. People are saying a lot of things on the street. They're dropping a lot, even on X. They will be dropped as if it's just a sign. But truth remains, they're actually conveying a message. The message is clear. Mnangagwa is going to be removed. We can see it's clear and they keep on saying it. Okay? But again, it's to use also the military. But like I said, one thing that I know for sure that I've heard, they're trying to drive a free, fair, and credible election. The person that have always been a problem as far as elections are concerned was Mnangagwa. Do you remember that when Mugabe lost election, he was willing to give up, and Mnangagwa was the one who blocked the transition from the ruling party to the opposition. So the person that we need to be focusing on right now is Emmerson Mnangagwa. He's a problem. He has never been voted by anyone, and he knows Zimbabweans do not want him. That's why he plays his dirty games. Every time you either pull this person, pay that person, come here, do all my shenanigans. We do not want to carry on with all this drama in the country. So I agree with those that are pushing on the same mandate. We do not want drama in this country anymore. So 2028 is very clear that there'll be a free and fair election. It's very clear that's what everybody wants. I think you heard also Geza mentioned that, if we lose as a ZANU-PF people, we are willing to give up. ZANU-PF they think that they will be able to resuscitate the party. That's what they think. And I understand if they can do another secret, they come back to the country and they work together. Surely that may be possible to resuscitate ZANU-PF. But I suggest to you that you should never use the word ZANU-PF. It's a poison chalice. I mean, it's like Mnangagwa, it's like CHAMISA going back and saying, I'm using triple C. It's already a poison chalice. It's a waste of time. Get a different name and move the ship. So there is a possibility that this can be resuscitated, but not under the ZANU-PF, but under a different political party. That's my take. Because remember, the entire history of Zimbabwe is dodgy. Okay, it's dodgy. Everything about it, there's no truth. There's a lot that's being spoken now. Allegation that Obama Chinguri killed Tongoga. It's a lot of things that we are hearing right now on social media. But anyway, Ziambi is lying once again. Lying. Because Herod is sending out a message that 23rd call is the people's will. So I want to ask you, Zimbabweans, are you agreeing with the 23rd mantra? Please comment in the comment section. I'll tell you why. They read your comments. They come through here and they go through what people are saying. They want to know what you think. Are you agreeing? Because that's what Ziambi is alleging. That Zimbabwean people want us to continue with the 2030. If you're saying it's people's will, you are simply saying that Zimbabweans agree with it, of which we all know that we don't agree with it. Like so I said earlier on, they are pushing back on what Chiwenga said. You heard Chiwenga's speech. Because Chiwenga is standing now with the people. I must say, I will comment on that one. Very important. But I'm following his speech. He was very clear on number one, do away with the lies Chris Muchangwa and the other ZANU-PF wigs have been saying. That is only the big wigs who fought during the struggle. He debunked on that issue and said, no, all Zimbabwe was a collective effort, which means he's distancing himself from Mnangagwa and his shenanigans and this criminal cartel. He says, no, I'm not part of this. He also went on and hammering on the issue of corruption, that we don't want it in the country. We can see that he's distancing himself. Very smart. When he was at the Heroes Acre, they chanting way so loud. People say, General must go, General must go. I can hear that. But like knowing ZANU-PF and their politics, okay, let me drink some water. When there's money on the table, anything is possible. Okay, guys, a lot of people here, please like the live while you enjoy my talks as we converse. We are engaging. Remember, comment peacefully and respectfully because please keep pushing. And then develop people have your back. Sissy's going to try throwing some developers there as we move. All right. So Jefferson Muswere came out. Okay. Depending Mnangagwa. I must also tell you something that I heard, that Jennifer Muswere is actually pretending because Jennifer Muswere is already aligning himself with Chiwenga. Okay. I'm just saying what I heard. All right. So now I want you to listen to what he said. This time, y'all, you can't hide because we are watching every move that you make. You cannot hide. You really cannot hide. Okay, let's listen to Jennifer Muswere, please.
The politically broad-based call to extend the presidential term of office beyond 2028 remains a rightful and unquestionable obligation for the Parliament of Zimbabwe.
Oh, good to see you.
The Party of Zimbabwe's Permanent National Democratic Revolution, ZANU-PF, and other legitimate political stakeholders to this matter. Parliamentarians from the cross-sectional divide of political parties represent the views and interests of the electorate. The Parliament of Zimbabwe is not answerable to narrow sectoral and regime change donor funding antics by a partly conglomerate of civil society entrepreneurs purporting to represent the views of the church in Zimbabwe. In the same vein, such Western donor organizations need not to be reminded that ZANU-PF is a political establishment which delivered the freedom of expression and the freedom of religion, among many other rights we all enjoy today. However, it is crucial for ZANU-PF's godly existential values not to be abused by minority entities and individuals bent on misrepresenting the cordial relationship which the state and the church enjoy. The proposal to move a motion on the presidential term limit extension will follow the provisions of the law. It must be emphasized that the Constitution of Zimbabwe will remain centrifugal throughout this process with no iota of infractions.
Oh, wow. He's lying that there's no iota of infractions. That's a lie. There's already a faction. There's no, in fact, let me just put it as it is. There's no faction in ZANU-PF. Although we are trying to sell as if there is a faction, there's simply criminals against ZANU-PF as a party. So there's no faction. Criminals against G40. Let me put it that way, because the Lacoste that we were sold when we were sold before is nowhere to be found. I never heard about it. I always hear Republic. There's nothing. It's just criminals against the G40 people. That's my tag. Okay. I said these are my opinions. It has nothing to do with ZANU-PF party, but there is no ZANU-PF. Criminals against the ZANU-PF people. But now it's no longer criminals against ZANU-PF. It's now criminals against Zimbabweans. In general, everyone no longer wants to be part of this poison chalice. Zimbabwe is in a mess because of few individuals. We have held our people at ransom who abduct and torture, who arrest innocent people, who kill some of people who never did no wrong. We still want answers as far as Itai Zamara's life is concerned. I'm desperate to know answers because the guy that abducted kunzwa is gallivanting in Harare. I saw him at a golf course. Pictures are circulating. He's doing whatever he wants, but he was seen holding an AK-47, abducting our brother, and he was tortured. We saw him in hospital. We're not going to be sitting and try to smile and say this is right. Some people will say, oh, no, but don't be, no. The time of fear is gone. Drop this fear nonsense and begin to speak truth, because let me tell you, your power lies within speaking truth to power. Once you lose the truth, you lose everything. No one has ever stand against truth and win. Lies never stand against truth. So you should always say what's right, no matter the circumstances. Fear not. All is under control. Now moving on, the reaction from Zimbabwean people. Lloyd Musipa, he said the 23rd agenda has been very easy to sell to some party faithfuls. He's referring to the criminal cartel, as they have nothing to lose but everything to gain. Selling it to the citizen whose life has been crushed by poverty. Corruption in a country is a perpetual election mode, is no walk in the park. I think after Mugabe and 2017, Zimbabweans are no longer that gullible. Agreed. This 2030-33 campaign will fall flat on its face. It may even take some of its chief campaigners with it. The people's voice is the voice of God. Time will tell. Like I said earlier on, there is no more 2030. It's a sinking ship. Okay? And I stand by my words. If we have to put Mnangagwa against Chiwenga, Mnangagwa is dead as a dodo. In fact, Mnangagwa is at his weakest. Okay, I'll explain to you why I say so. Anyone who's advising Mnangagwa is not worth of advising even a god, because that person is foolish. And I'll explain to you why I say so. You also know that for you to actually be able to lead the country, you need the people. I do not care what kind of machination you can use. It will come to a time where people say we have had enough. Zimbabweans are wiser and they're smarter. Don't forget, time is what age is fighting with ED. It is 83 years old, which means he's on his way to signing out. So whatever he's trying to build will not stand the test of time. I genuinely believe he's just a front, but his kids are championing this entire stuff. Because I remember the last time they had their conference in Mulawayo, that the moment they spoke about who are chanting the 2030, I remember Emerson Jr. stood up. I think Collins was there, stood up. I don't remember if Sean was there. Please bear with me. The children from Mnangagwa stood up, okay, together with this, what you said, what's his name? Owen Muda, right? Owen Muda stood up and there was just few people started clapping hands. I know they were bought. There are also allegations that those that were against the 2030 were chased away. Young people were left running away from this entire poison chalice. So what I'm trying to say is there is no people who are supporting 2030. It's Mnangagwa's children who are afraid to lose the lifestyle they are living. They want to remain. That's why they are fighting for this kingship nonsense, hoping that they can carry on abusing the people of Zimbabwe and living large and have as many concubines as they can have. And I'm saying things as they are. Okay. Because sometimes we have to say truth. That's why the good life, you can see their wives or girlfriends, whatever you call it, showing off and flaunting on social media. That's the life they want to show. Controlling, we can see them even in mineral space, acting as if they own Zimbabwe. Okay, we walked through that path. I cannot forget Mugabe's children pouring champagne in Senton, wearing gold, diamond washing, all sorts of things. They want us to act as if we are not Zimbabwe. They're the only people who are Zimbabweans. So it's a poison, Charles. There is nothing that is going on there, in my opinion. Okay. So lying that the Zimbabwean people want the 2030 is just absolutely a lie. And this is going to fall flat. It's going to be very costly to many people. This is why I keep on advising my brothers, if you're in your 30s, 29, or whatever, you are 40s, be very careful of being used by politicians, because some of you, your life will be in prison. You don't want that. So stop these criminals and stay away from this poison, Charles, because there will be consequences. Okay, heavy consequences. Honorable Job Sikala, he said, I don't hate anyone. I don't hold a grudge against anyone except the ZANU-PF that persecuted and tormented me. They have hardened my resolve against them. I hate them passionately with their surrogates and enablers. ZANU-PF is the enemy of our people and civilization is in general. Which I agree. I mean, he went through a lot. Man, I hope what you a lot of guys, man, I mean, a lot. Opposition party guys, and I pray that God is going to vindicate them one day. And I genuinely believe that they will be vindicated. They went through a lot under these criminals. I don't want to say ZANU-PF and try to rob everyone else. Criminals, I'm going to say on that, criminals. Mike Kita said ED has failed, he must go. 2026 presidential elections to resolve illegitimate crisis. 2028 is too far to save Zimbabwe from these dictators, mafia, and looters. We want election 2026, save ED, ED must go. That's what people are saying. There's also campaign on social media now that not 23rd agenda nonsense, Mnangagwa must go now. It's actually circulating now as we speak. Joy Charamba, very adamant though. Again, you know he's Mnangagwa spokesperson. I don't know, people said he was fired, but we're still waiting to see what's going to happen because we don't know. Mnangagwa is yet to reshuffle for his cabinet. We are waiting to see, but again, I don't have no trust in him anymore, with all due respect. It's chaos, man. I don't expect this from leaders. I expect to see changes in the country, not drama. I'm not interested in drama. But George Charamba here, he says a lot of things. As far as the Constitution is concerned, I want to read for you. Interesting. He said, is it feebleness of mind or what? Okay, that's a question. Looking at the debate on presidential term limits, one is struck by one thing. Instead of raising persuasive arguments for or against, most debaters concentrate on who has said what, or on mere sloganeering. I think he's referring now to Chiwenga. Neither thrust is gainful. Some even go as far as threatening or casting some aura of heavenly gravity on mere thoughts by mortals. Neither carries the day. Worse, one gets this stupid argument built on unconstitutionality, as if the current constitution holds sway beyond its change, assuming that it's ever going to happen. Oh, interesting. Once the current constitution is up for changes, none of its current provisions will matter anymore. Can you hear that? The same way provisions of the defunct Lancaster House Constitution matter to the current constitution passed in 2013. Then you have those building their thoughts around referendum. Okay, what if that changes too? There is a dearth of real thoughtful engagement the either way, with lots of useless emotionalism. Even the media, which should provide a platform for such debate, are doing no better. They are either pledging loyalty to one side or debauching the side the other. Neither washes debate the soundness of limiting terms or removing a cap on them. That is the question. Itai, mushe, kwete, kuita, sevanhu, who cannot engage issues. How do term limits or lack thereof make Zimbabwe move forward or backwards? Ndizvo, zvatinoda, kunzwa. And as you debate, leave the president out of it. Okay, I love that. Leave the president out of it. Either way, he has his views, which he has placed in the public domain as an individual. He has not laid a law or outlawed any view. Either way, Why do you continue accosting him through shallow blackmail or flattery? Put forward your arguments as beseems a democracy. It's all finished. That's what he said. It's done. The constitution is changed. Remember, we are ready to change the constitution. I find this interesting to watch the arrogance that George Charamba has. Okay, because they say the referendum is not, it doesn't even matter. I get that because I mean, I'll find it also a bit weird when people say Mnangagwa is a constitutionalist, because remember, these guys has never respected the constitution at all. So the fight we have is not the constitution, it's just we just don't want criminals in our country. So we need to be very clear on that. We don't care whether they change the constitution or not. That's not even the issue, because they can't do it. They always do whatever they want, and the Zimbabweans will just do nothing. This time, there's no will change or what. It's Zimbabweans will not allow this to continue. So it's the abuse that's going to be stopped. Okay, so we need to be clear. The abuse of the people of Zimbabwe will be stopped soon. Okay, so it's definitely a waste of time. So this referendum thing, I don't even care. They can lie like they always lie that, oh, people in Chipinge, when they carry like a few guys to go there and the rest of the people are just sitting and watch. And they say, no, Chipinge said we want Mnangagwa to continue. We know Mnangagwa is not going to continue. I put it that way and I put it out there. He is not going to get 2030. It's not going to happen. It is what it is. But I find the guts of George Charamba interesting. Where is he getting that power from? An individual Zimbabwean is talking to all the Zimbabweans across the world like they're nothing. And he thinks, I can't wait to see this guy running out of the country, because at that time is coming when we're going to say, okay, you go after him. I can't wait for a day that we're going to come after you, even if you are wherever you are hiding, George. If you have been in Mozambique, they'll get you in Mozambique, then bring you back to Zimbabwe so that you can answer. Even the money, the corruption that you've been robbed in as well, you're going to be answerable at the right time and forum. But in the same token, I pray to God that I serve that we won't go back to even worse to where we are coming from, because ZANU-PF is a point. These guys are absolutely, they're just a problem in the country. Whether there is division or they're not division, I think there's something about the people that are supporting ZANU-PF. They have this entitlement spirit, it's either us or nothing. I've always been asking myself questions that I can only imagine. Maybe in future, then I stand. Let's assume that maybe Kasukure's son, let's use him, or maybe Mnangagwa's grandson, wake up tomorrow and said, I want to be the president of Zimbabwe, right? And then I stand and said, that will never happen in this country. What gave me those powers to do so? So we need to start talking about the entitlement factor. That's why I keep on referring to speech for Chiwenga to say, when Chiwenga mentioned that the freedom of Zimbabwe really involved everybody else. What it's trying to do is to destroy the entitlement spirit. Entitlement spirit need to die in Zimbabwe. Those that are in ZANU-PF feel like they're entitled. Their parents have been eating and drinking and looting. Their kids are coming up, they want to drink and eat and loot. They want to live large while everyone suffers. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Their grandchildren think that they are entitled to get everything that they want in the country. We need to do away with that culture today or never. I will stand and make sure that this does not carry on. Someone may say, oh no, but they'll kill you. Forget about that killing thing. It's nonsense. Nobody's going to kill me. They don't have power to kill me, these people. In fact, I'm the one that can actually kill them, not them kill me. So relax and chill. Okay, I'm protected as much as you. Relax. Okay. This evil has to stop. And I say this even to Mnangagwa's kids. You guys are not better than any other Zimbabwean person. There's nothing fancy about you. So you better humble yourself. There is absolutely nothing fancy about you. Right? Okay. So let's listen to what CHAMISA said. Addressing the issue of the 2030, all these arguments, the drama in ZANU-PF.
The politically broad-based call to extend the presidential...
Sorry, my bad.
Zvakawanda zvokuba, zvakawanda zvokuisa upfumi kwenyika, zvakawanda zvokumora uchi hwenyika, zvakawanda zvokuita corruption, zvakawanda zvokurova vanhu nenyaya dzematongerwo enyika.
Makashamiswa here nevamwe vakaita savana seneta Chavangu vakaenda kupurasira vaMnangagwa vachizodzoka kuti ngavarambe vachitungamira nyika?
Konaye ungashamiswa here nemunhu anenge dete ringakushamisa riri mumukaka rakawiramo rokushamisa kuti ndashamiswa nedete riri mumukaka, handiti ndokwarakatumwa, handiti ndokwarakadanwa, handiti ndo ZANU-PF kunonga kuseri kwakonika ungataura kuti kwanzi opposition handiti ndo wakanokudzimikwa ukanodzimika chimudhori mumunda, ungataura here kuti munhu handiti chimudhori chako chokuti wochikumira wochiridzira mbeterwa wochiimbira wochitambira ndicho chiri kutamba, asi ndiwo unenge wakachipaka mashoko.
Ko vamwe vanotika vaChamisa ndiani achasungirira dare pana katsi nekuti vari kutika vaChamisa vati ndambosuduruka?
Handina kusuduruka pakutungamira nyika, ndakasuduruka pakutungamira bato. Ini ndi mutungamiri wevanhu over 2 million people vakati vanotida vakawanda kudarika izvi nevava Mnangagwa. Nyika ino yakatsemuka nepakati, vazhinji vakawandira kwatiri, vashoma vari kwa Mnangagwa. Zvinozikanwa nenyika yose. 2018 zvakaitika, 2023 zvakaitika. Ndosaka muchiona vaMnangagwa vasingandiregereri, vari kuti iwewe sei wakasarudzwa, nhamo yangu, hondo yangu, chivi changu, mhosva yangu, ndekuti sei wakasarudzwa navanhu vakawanda kundidarika. Unongoziza kuchikoro kuti ukaita number 1 wapinda dambudziko nenhamba nedofu rikapedza kuvhunira penzera rinokutevera rinokubira penzokesi rabva ipapo rinokubira mabhuku. Utsinye hwemunhu anoziva kuti zvinhu zvakabva muvanhu zvakamira so kuti pane ukasha kana kuti hasha idzi atomboona vachiita vaMnangagwa. Asi chandoda kukuudzai vazulu nenyika yeZimbabwe, hakuna hasha dzenyika dzinodonhedza munhu paakakwizwa nenyasha dzaMwari.
No, I agree on that one. Yeah, I've always been saying, if God says CHAMISA is going to be the president of Zimbabwe, there is nothing, absolutely nothing you and I can do to stop him. Either Mnangagwa cannot stop, ZANU-PF can't stop him. There's always time for everything. I genuinely believe that even in this season, God is working in CHAMISA as well. Because sometimes you never know why God is doing what he's doing. We may not understand it, but one day we will understand. There's a lot that needs to change in the country. And I'm glad that everyone now is pushing on a free and fair election. Like I mentioned earlier on, free and fair election is coming. Because everyone is not tired. I can only imagine Kasukure in Zimbabwe pushing on a fraudulent election. I'm going to go and look in Squallies. I said, sir, stop really wasting our time. Young people in general are fed up. Do you also know the reason why Mnangagwa wiggled his way to the front and played Chiwenga? It's because he knew that ZANU-PF wanted Kasukure to represent the party, because they were trying to, they wanted I think Sekramai to mold Kasukure to later take over ZANU-PF as a candidate. But then Mnangagwa, since he wanted to be at the front, he would himself play all his dirty games, use his money and buy stupid people, and then he found himself there. But the truth is, like I mentioned earlier on, if God says this is what he wants, there's nothing we're going to do. So I believe that if ZANU-PF can put Kasukure as their candidate in 2028 against CHAMISA, guys, can you also just love good politics? Can you love to see great minds come together? Aren't you tired of these shenanigans? That's why sometimes I feel like I can address Mnangagwa's children. Can you guys tired? Can you tired these young people of this nonsense that you're seeing here? I mean, imagine sitting and be creating, giving money, all these dirty things. Can't you tired? Can't you tired of it? Because we are tired. I don't understand, because I should expect you to say, no, guys, we are a different generation. Since you all like this good life comes with responsibilities. It comes with classy and respect of self. You know what I'm saying? You want to wear Louis Vuitton and Gucci. You want to buy, go on holidays, have different wives. It comes with classy and some kind of ways of living. I mean, why do you guys carry all of this dirty stuff that you're doing? Nonsense. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's a shame. You guys grow up. Do something different. Get tired of rubbish. The shame. Look at other countries. We had Botswana here, just our friend here. Then an election. Look at them. Classy, top. Can't you desire to be better? South Africa, they're not perfect, but the election, they were not perfect, but look, they're trying. Desire to be better people. Restore the dignity of Zimbabwe by doing right. Respecting people. Listen to what the people want. Give them the platform. Look at other countries, guys. Look, man. I don't know how to speak to you. I wish I could put you in a second, shake you, to say, yay, listen to me. Because it's wild. Get tired of rubbish. 1 minute is rigging election. 1 minute is peeling the person from the street. It's chaos. 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 Sometimes I also even question lawyers, Zimbabwean lawyers. You guys can do better. There's sometimes that you need to sit down and say, I don't want to get involved in your case. I love you, but I don't have time for this. Respect yourselves, the judges. Guys, you can do better. Look at other countries. Judges should be able to live large lives. If I receive documents of a judge here and they want to rent properties or buy properties for their kids, I know I'm dealing with big people. And a case that is at hand right now in South Africa. But before I get there, because I want to deal with that one, you need to understand that the judges are people who are respected in society. But imagine as a judge, you stand in your tongue. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm trying to understand because I love challenge. I really love challenge. Okay. And I'm like, this girl was from the street and come here. What am I sitting here? What am I even addressing? We need to introspect as a Zimbabwean people. Let's change our ways. Let's feel proud of who we are as a father going to work, as a judge, getting into, let me deal with issues and feel proud of myself when I go back home. You understand, as a father, look at my kids and say, listen, my children, I'm your daddy. But imagine as a father, you sit for nonsense like this. What are you teaching your kids when you get home, when you go back home? What are you doing? What are you discussing with your wife? I don't understand Zimbabwe. No, it's nonsense. Actually, it's nonsense. So we should never even give an airtime to this garbage. I pray, post Mnangagwa era, after all this nonsense is gone, we need to start introspecting and reshape our society to be society of classy. Classy, okay? Classy. I mean it, classy. Okay, so talking about the issue of the judge, there's a story that is circulating now. It's trending heavily on social media. It's a South African judge who is being accused of sexual harassment. I wanted to comment on that. This judge, a president judge, very classy judge. I know him, really top tier judge. That's why when I look at them and look at Zimbabwe, my heart bleeds. My heart bleeds. Why do you guys lower your standards to that extent? You've lowered the bar of judging in the country. Anyway, this judge here, you can see the panel sitting with him and talk about sexual harassment. Great. I love Skakani. Incredible advocate. Absolutely incredible. But I must say this. Women, I want to talk to you. I do not understand. If a man approaches you and you don't like him, what is so difficult to tell him that you don't like him? Why would you, if you're at work, why do you entertain a man's text if you don't like him? Because why would you converse with a man for months? It does not matter that he has broken the ethics. I get that the judge has broken the ethics, because he's not allowed to actually make moves towards someone that he works with because of the power dynamics. I get that. But as a woman, why do you entertain him? You can just say, I don't think I'm interested in this. Listen, I've told you my story. I once been in that situation before, so I know what I'm talking about. No, say, I don't think I'm this kind of person. I can't do it. Bless you, but no. Or block him. But what is the block button for? Is to block information that you don't want. But if you're entertaining the judge, talking to him, you ask him for money, and once you don't get what you want, you turn around, you say it's sexual harassment. It's not sexual harassment. He may have broken the ethical conduct, get that. But once you're a grown person and you're talking to a grown man, you're not being harassed because you're entertaining him. I always say if a married woman can be approached by a man and even date a man, a married woman date a man, or if the marriage was single, it says a lot about the woman more than the person that actually approached her. Because there's a way that you carry yourself when you're married. And there's a way that I carry myself when I'm single. Okay, when I'm single, I can do whatever I want because I'm single, and nobody should ask me. But when you're married, it's different. There's a way that you carry yourself as a married woman. Okay, so I'm saying to this woman who's accusing the judge for sexual harassment, no, ma'am. If I was your relative, I would have said, no, girl, we don't do things that way. The moment a person make advances and you don't really like to be part of that, you just say, no, sir, and you cut it off. You move on. But once you entertain the person, no, you actually want, you're up to something. Because remember, judges, and I told you, judges in South Africa are moneyed. I know their salaries. I see their pay slips. Okay, they are moneyed. So they're men of respect, you know. So, so once you know that you don't get the money that you wanted, now you turn around and say, "Oh no, but the judge sexually harassed me." Hi, we don't do things that way. We can do better. Okay, moving on. The violence, Zimbabwean men. Shout out 2 cases that are circulating, that are trending. One is in the UK. A Zimbabwean man has been sentenced to life for killing his wife's girlfriend. In South Africa, as we speak, another Zimbabwean man as well has been sentenced to life as well. I think triple lives, if I'm not mistaken, for against to killing girlfriend stroke wife. Why I'm saying this is because I must say, I understand our anger and frustration. It boils down to the abuse of ZANU-PF over the years. But once we get into foreign land where we have a bit of comfort, I would like to adopt the words of my friend, incredible friend of mine, who once said this to me. He said, Irumbi, it's time to unlearn what we've learned and relearn. What it means is there are so many things that we knew from home that were wrong. We saw our parents being abused, our mothers being abused by our fathers. We saw it. But we can't repeat the same culture that we witnessed. And we knew it hurt us when we were young. When I said us, I represent the people. I may not have been part of that, but I'm just saying, as I see as a Zimbabwean person, I know it happens in our society. Okay? We can't repeat it because we have the decision to choose what's right and what's wrong. We are grown enough to say, my father was abusive. I don't want to be like my dad. But I know my daddy worked so hard. I'm going to adopt my daddy's hard work ethics. Incredible. But his behavior of abusing my mom, I don't want it. So I won't take it. That's a wise man there. Right? On the other side of women, I know, yes, okay, in our family, we used to be moody all the time. We don't communicate better. We don't know how to communicate. We use moods. We use anger. We use gossip, right? We cause chaos. We are jealous of our neighbors. But no, because I'm in a different setup. I look and see how some people are so, are family oriented. They are happy people. No, I can drop gossip. I can drop jealousy. I can drop hatred. I can become a good person. I choose what I want. Let me tell you what helped me in many ways. I used to watch, I don't know if you guys remember, a family, they're called, is it a Ram's house? Is it Ram's house? I don't know if it's Ram's. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly. But this guy, they're on YouTube actually, but it's no longer that trending. It used to trend. They used to cook and come with family and eating. I used to love that show a lot. I followed it. So I'm that kind of person. I believe in family comes together. I cook. I don't care. I can host as many people as possible. I love that lifestyle. So I spend my time feeding myself positivity, which means find stuff that you can watch and reshape your mind. If you were used to violence, now change and begin to watch love. We can do this. We can't train for wrong reasons all the time. We can't carry our violent nature from home everywhere that we go. I'm not saying all of us, but some of our people. We can't carry our jealous nature wherever we go. We always have a spirit to destroy other people. We need to change as a community and become a better people for generations. Because once we change, we can raise good children. We can build a strong legacy for our families. It's a choice that we can make, right? So I'm not happy with what I'm seeing on social media when it comes to violence, fighting all the time. It's not, I don't like this kind of life. I'm different. I want peace. I believe in love. I can't wait to see most of you. I'm a love person. It's all I drive. I don't care. Hatred is not my thing. Whenever I see these fights, I just remove myself from that situation. I don't want that, right? We need to start championing respect and honor. That's why my goal, I'm focusing on ZANU-PF. Now, I'm focusing on the criminals in Zimbabwe. I will destroy you by just the words. I will destroy. I may not have the guns like what you do, but I can destroy you because if I can bless wherever I am, I can bless someone in America, pray for my kids. I can still curse someone who's in America. I can also still curse you wherever you are, which means I've got the power to demolish your empire. Because this cannot carry on. We cannot carry on with this nonsense in our country. We can do better. So trust me, we are not stupid. Zimbabweans are not foolish. We are dealing with you where we should be dealing with you. We are going to demolish your empire. It is as simple as that. The same way you build it is the same way we'll crush it. That's how it works in life. We just go against what you did. Silencing people, we let our people speak. Right? It's easy. You silence our brothers in Zimbabwe. We speak in the foreign national. We push and we let everyone in Zimbabwe listen to us. Who's winning? We're winning. That's how it works. You are not smart enough to know how to play the game. Right? But I'm just saying, guys, we can do better. Brothers and sisters, violence doesn't pay. Evil doesn't pay. We can change the trajectory. We can change our culture. We can be a better people. We can be respected again. Instead of violence, we'll embrace each other. Right? Instead of being greedy, we can share what we have. We used to do that before. I know, we used to do it. We can do it again. When we see someone who's struggling, we can come together and be of a blessing. That's the culture that we want. That's the Zimbabwe that we want. One family can't be the only people who are eating. We can't be the only people who are marrying 500 wives. No, let everyone get the opportunity. If someone wants 5 wives, why not? If you want polygamy, whatever you want to do, bless God. It's your life. But one family cannot be the only people. Why everyone else suffer? We need to change our ways. That's all I want to drive this morning. I love you guys. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Please comment respectfully because they read your comments. Don't swear. There's no reason. Speak your mind. Pour your heart. Okay? Say, pour your heart. That's one of the reasons why I created the platform. I wanted Zimbabweans to engage, to speak up. Then, oh, nobody can say anything. It's a lie. We can speak because we have the voices. We've got so many ways to communicate in 2025. I can tell you the truth. The days will come when we are watching almost everything that you do. For those who don't know, in fact, they are watching everything that you're doing. Every corrupt deal that happened in Zimbabwe, the documentation is served. Is served, and everyone will be held accountable, from members of parliament to councillors to every thief in Zimbabwe will be held accountable. And the time is getting nearer and nearer as we get in. Because you know what? We have to change our ways. I love you, bless you, and bless Zimbabwe. I'll see you later on. Bye for now.